This is bad. Super bad.
Okay, hello everyone. We're here with the amazing Leon Gorman, behind the scenes and up close, where I'm going to be picking your brain. I was lucky enough again to be invited on one of the Italian Elle shoots. You sent me through some inspiration shots prior to the shoot, which was Carmen Miranda. So the look was obviously very bright, headscarves, the hair was up.
The scarves were the idea of the clothes, really.
Yeah. Tell us a bit more about what the story was about.
It was a 12-page story for September issue, which is the second biggest issue of the year. A lot of the clothes in this coming season are very kind of graphic. A lot of patterns, a lot of color, and peculiar shapes. And what Marcelo, the photographer, wanted to do, he wanted to incorporate the shape of a banana.
And there was a ton of bananas there.
There was a lot of bananas.
I think there were about 10 boxes of bananas there.
Yeah.
It was like bananas.
Again, at the start of the shoot, I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest with you. But as you'll see, it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, amazing. Tell us a bit about the hair.
Again, the preparation is always the key, no matter what you're going to do. Again, the idea, I wanted to keep the hair up off the model, working with the face shape. Again, I started off blow drying the front of the hair, really working with the root movement because, I worked a technique where I used 4 different ponytails.
Right.
I worked a half ponytail at the back, up on top here. When you're doing a high ponytail on top of the head, you're always going to get root drag around the back.
Okay.
So the best way to get that clean and smooth and get that root movement up, because the hair doesn't want to go that way. I tipped her upside down and just directed it all.
I mean, obviously, having the hair falling that way means it's easier to control and get it up there.
I worked the front through to the recession area, to the crown, as another ponytail.
And then you're sort of combing the hair all in that direction, getting it up into a tight pony. And what you're doing here, you're using a bungee.
I use the little bungee cords.
Right.
Just because you can get right down into the root. And then the 2 sides, we wrap that over the top of the front.
So you're sort of using that to cover it in a way.
Exactly. You've got your 4 ponytails. You have the top one, you have the 2 sides that cross over and wrap around that first pony, so that covers that pony there in the center. And then you have the back pony. And then what we're using is the pony tie, which is an old-fashioned 1980 toy.
Right.
It basically allows you to loop the hair and loop it underneath the ponytail.
So you just poke the hair through. It's like a needle.
Exactly.
A very large needle.
So that you can just weave that in and out and zigzag it through the ponytails to create a shape.
So even though like some of these tools you say is an old like 80s tool, probably in some ways considered a little bit cheesy. But it's just great, like using simple tools to effectively get good results.
Exactly. It has a great way of making a classic chignon or a classic bun, using a different texture, and you can weave it in and out. You know? And it's almost like a classic little tool for me. And it allows you to pull the hair underneath and loop it around.
And then you're starting to leave a few sort of little pieces out.
So again, just working on the top shape. I wanted to keep it quite a strong shape. But this look is a little bit scruffy, a little bit messy. There was a bit more texture going on with it, so it wasn't so important to get it super clean and tight to the head.
Suddenly you come to thrill my soul.
Brilliant. Thanks, Leon.
Excellent. Thank you, Dean. Always a pleasure.